And yeah, we're on right now. So school's out for geeking. Up next on Geek Out SA. And welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun.
So there you go.
That's why that happened.
That was super funny though. Like, you're usually pretty polished and really good, and you know, every once in a while when you flub, people are like, yes, he flubbed.
Yes, he flubbed.
And that one was pretty epic. That was a pretty good flub right there. Yeah, that was pretty good. So you're like, my name is, I don't know, and we're talking about stuff and things.
Yeah.
And you don't even get summer break.
You know the alarm went off this morning, and I forgot what Alexa's name was.
You're like, hey, you over there, shut up. Stop beeping.
I was like, I didn't want to nudge you. What am I supposed to call that?
I wouldn't have known. At that time in the morning, I have no clue.
I was out of it this morning.
Well, that's because your body decided 3 a.m. was a good time to wake up.
No, actually, my body thought that 1:30 was
oh
the time
my
to
God.
wake up.
Okay, well, 3:30 was when 3 o'clock was when I woke up, realizing you had woken up. So yeah. And I was like, really, it's my last day of work, and this is where we're gonna.
So talking about your last day at work, at school. So you're out. You're not teaching. You're not doing any summer school.
Well, so I'm not teaching summer school, but I think what people don't understand is teachers have to go to summer school, because I have to go to training in order to keep our certificates active, in order to keep our teaching licenses active. We have to have so many training hours throughout the year. And we get some on those days when the kids aren't at school and we are at school.
Right.
But we have a certain number of hours that we have to get over the summer too. So actually, you and I are going to go on a little mini vacation next week. We're going to go glamping.
Yeah.
And then when we get back, I actually have to go to 2 days of training that I was voluntold that I'm doing. So.
Glamping. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think glamping is going to be good, and it's something that we haven't experienced yet, so it's something that we can tell people whether it was something we really liked or not. And it's here in Texas. It's pretty close, so it's something that people could do almost like as a staycation, because it's not too far away. It's kind of New Braunfels, Seguin-esque area. So for those of us living in San Antonio, it's not too far away.
Yeah. So
we'll let you know and see if that's something that's nice. I think people get this idea that geeks just sit in their homes all day and that's all we do is, like, you know, read our nerdy comics and play our games and build lightsabers, which we totally do that stuff and we're proud of it and we enjoy it. But it's not like the only thing we do in our lives.
No.
So... yeah.
Like we have some videos on our channel that are called Geek Ventures.
Yeah.
And we go on adventures as geeks, but it's not necessarily geeky places.
Well, so I have an interesting story about that for everybody. So y'all may not know this, but Vincent and I are a mixed race couple. I know, shocking. He's Mexican and I'm white. I know, right?
No way.
Yes. And so sometimes we travel cross country. We like to do road trips. It's kind of one of our things that we do together. And we were going to Gen Con one year, and it's a big gaming convention. If you don't know what Gen Con is, it's like 60,000 plus people in Indianapolis gaming. And we were like, oh my God, we're going to totally drive. We're going to go to Graceland. We've never done that. Most boring drive ever. Like, I would not recommend it to anybody. It was the worst. Although we did find like a fun movie theater along the way and some other stuff. So
that was kind of cool, yeah.
We made it fun. And Graceland was way better than I thought it was going to be. But anytime we go to any of these states that, like, Texas is kind of one of those southern states where we're kind of racist. I mean, let's just be honest. But here in San Antonio, it's a pretty good melting pot and it's predominantly Hispanic. So we don't have too many problems. We've had problems the other way where I've gotten grief for being with you because I'm white. People were not happy, like on the South Side, that I'm white. But we haven't gotten it like too much here. A couple of times we've gotten it. So I'm always very tense when we go to some of these other states, right? So we're in Graceland, and there's this biker gang and stuff, like white guys, right? And I'm like...
There's Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell's Angels. And I'm like bristled up. I'm like, I know these guys are going to tell me something about my Mexican husband. Let's go. I'm ready, right? And nothing. They don't tell us anything.
They were talking to us.
I mean,
they were
but
just
nice.
being really nice.
Yeah, nothing ugly. But then we go to our hotel, and there's this little old man, and he gets in the elevator with us, and he's like, oh, well, aren't y'all interesting? And I was like, okay, here we go. Let's go, racist. And then he's like, y'all are awfully grown to be wearing those kind of T-shirts. He's wearing a Superman shirt, and I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle shirt. I was like, that's what you want to come at us about? That. And I was like, you're right. We're old.
Yeah.
We're old, and we still like them.
Still like it.
And so then we just kind of had a conversation with him about this show, actually, and he was like, that's weird, but interesting. So now
it was an older couple. I mean,
old. They were like
old.
much old. Yeah,
very
older.
old.
But I just thought it was interesting because I was ready for it to be something else.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, well, y'all are geeks. That's kind of weird. Don't do that
because
anymore.
when but go back to when we were walking by the Hell's Angels, we were walking and she just starts like clenching onto my hand. I was like, hey, let go. But yeah, it was nothing. It was a nice experience. I mean,
yeah. But then we
they usually don't bother you if you're like, unless you're like another, or have a bike club or something.
Yeah. But we just kind of had a laugh over it that I kept thinking that it was going to be something like racially motivated, and then it ended up being like geek motivated. Yeah. Well, y'all are a little old to be geeks. Yeah. Wearing those little kid T-shirts.
And we went to Graceland looking like that. So.
Yeah, we go places like that all the time because that's just kind of who we are. Mm-hmm. Like that's just what we like to wear. We're comfortable. That's what we wear. Whatever. I mean, we dress up sometimes too. It's not like we go, to Bohannon's and we're dressed in our Ninja Turtle and Superman stuff, but. If you don't know, Bohannon's is like a fancy steakhouse downtown in San Antonio. But, yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting. That was a couple of summers ago. Yeah. But I thought that was an interesting story. That there's still that stigma in some places about being a geek.
Well, school's out, and we don't really have like school-age kids anymore, so we don't really do anything. But there's a lot of people now that do have school-age kids, and they just got let out, and the family is geeks. So what are some of the things that we can do that are geeky during the summer?
So I love this. This is one of my absolute favorite topics, I think, because of the teacher in me, and because so many, I'm starting to see a lot. I'm trying to think of a delicate way to put this. I'm starting to see less families spending time as family units. Mm-hmm. And I would like to see more families spending time as a family unit. I see this especially as an educator, that the kids are like on their technology a lot. And so they're not, the phone is like king, and maybe it shouldn't be. So I've done a lot of these things with our kids, and I thought we could share them, and it would be like some fun things that families could do. So the first genre I want to do is Star Wars. Right. Because Star Wars is our jam. So if Star Wars is your jam, and then this first one Vincent came up with for one of the boys' birthday parties. I
had a really, they wanted to do a Star Wars
thing. Do a Star Wars birthday party.
And we're like, well, what kind of games can we play, or what kind of activities can we do? I was like, you know what? They have the Dollar Tree, they have the pool noodles. Mm-hmm. And we can get pool noodles, and we can get duct tape and other tapes, and then we can have them make lightsabers that they can hit each other with that are soft.
It was perfect. They have red and blue and green, which you often think of as lightsaber colors. And if you cut them in half, especially for elementary and early middle school kids, they're a perfect size. And even for some of the bigger middle school kids, if they reach out, they're not super long when you've cut them in half, but they're not bad. You can buy those at the Dollar Tree. You can usually find the silver duct tape at the Dollar Tree. If you get they usually have the colored electric tape, black and that kind of stuff, and they can, kind of make designs on it and stuff like that.
You can get some Sharpies, like red Sharpies or black Sharpies to do little details on there.
So most of that stuff you can find really cheap at the Dollar Tree. So you can have the kids make that. So that takes a while to like make the craft. And then they're being active. They're moving around and they're sword fighting. And actually what our kids did, which then you can bring in YouTube that the kids like, is you can look up different choreography on YouTube. And then you and the kids can learn some of the choreography, and you're doing the choreography with the lightsabers. And then if anybody gets hit, it's just a pool noodle.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt and it's fun and you're learning the choreography. And then if you move up to like an Ultra Saber or something, you kind of have the choreography down. Our sons are pretty fast with it nowadays, actually, with their sabers, because they practiced a lot and they had so much fun with those stupid pool noodles.
Yeah.
But they ran around and did that. So I loved that one. That's one that we've done with the kids. Another one that we like, and this may be for some of the hardcore geeks, you're watching Star Wars, right? And you're not loving the new direction that it's gone, right? Well, a lot of kids nowadays are used to fan fiction. They know what fan fiction is. They understand fan fiction. And one of the things that we're losing kind of as a group, as a culture, is our writing skills. They aren't great. They aren't improving. And we need help in them. So one of the things you can do for creative writing is like pause the movie somewhere in a scene where there's a lot of like tertiary characters that you don't necessarily know very much about, or maybe you as a super geek, you do know because you've researched them, but maybe your kids don't know that much about them. And so pick some of those characters out and then let your kid write like a backstory for them. Do they have a family? Are they a bounty hunter? Are they smugglers? Like, who are they? Write them up and then write like a little background story for them. We used to do this with our sons as well.
Yeah.
And then you can also do this fun thing, which we call kind of like round robin story, where you each get a character and you start them and then you have to pass them on to somebody else in the family. And that next person writes on their story. Remember we used to do that? And then you pass it to another and then the next person continues. And so you get kind of this interesting, because a lot of the times people in your family have different like thoughts and opinions and feelings about things and like different genres. And so somebody's story may be a little bit darker and some's maybe a little bit funnier. And so it just kind of becomes like a fun family thing that you can do over the course of the summer, or maybe over the course of a couple of weeks. And you've taken that and gone forward with that. So the other thing that you can do is you can look up a lot of mom blogs, and there's all different kinds of like Star Wars crafts.
Yeah.
There's just this cute little headband that you can make just with green construction paper, and you cut out the little Yoda ears, and you can wear the Yoda ears, and you can make the Princess Leia ears and stuff like that. Or you can get construction paper and make a Chewbacca mask, and the kids can put on little plays.
Chewbacca mask, like Chewbacca mom.
That's not funny. Don't bring that up. Don't laugh about that. Don't you two? Both of them are laughing about that.
Mom.
I don't like Chewbacca mom. We don't talk about her in this house.
Okay.
My teacher voice. Okay. But kids also like to be creative and do like little plays. So they could be the different characters, or you could do just buy the sandwich bags, the paper bags, and you can draw and color the little things, and they could make little plays and stuff like that. So that's a fun, easy one to do, and it takes some time, and they're drawing, and they're being creative, and they're kind of writing in a way, but in their head,
right.
And they're using their creativity. There was another one.
If you want to go a little more in depth, and this is what I've been doing recently, is building lightsabers. So you can get one of the stunt sabers, which is just a saber with the light in it. And then you have a button, and you just have to buy a couple extra things if you want to put sound in it and have it be a little more animated. So I think you need, after that you'll need another button because you need a momentary switch. But I'll be talking about that later.
Like on a separate
this
video,
summer on a separate video of how I'm actually building this Sith one.
And you actually bought sabers at Five Below and got soundboards out of those, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, I actually went to Five Below, and then they have the Star Wars, official Star Wars lightsabers there, the ones that extend. and you can break those down and take out the board in them, and then use that in this build. And we built one of them. Is it over there?
Oh, I think it's over here. It's over there.
It's one of the. But yeah, that one's actually working. I'm actually going to redo that one as well to make it a little bit easier to disconnect and whatnot when you're not using it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really simple process.
And you found all the instructions on YouTube, right?
I found all the instructions on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm going to make mine more clear than the stuff that I've seen.
Okay, good.
So, because it took a little bit of trial and error for some of
You
this
think
stuff.
like a 7th, 8th grader with some parental help could do something like
easily.
that? Easily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. And most of the stuff that you bought, you found, like any wiring you need or whatever, you found at either Amazon or at Harbor Freight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he'll talk about that kind of stuff too, so that if you want to do something like that, like especially if you have a kid that's pretty tech savvy.
Your camera's going crazy.
Mine is?
Yeah.
Do I need to be still?
No,
sorry.
it's not. I don't think it has anything to do with it.
I'm like, I'll just be really still. This, and then I'll just be really still. Is it working okay now?
No.
Oh, okay, then I'll just move and be myself then. Do you want to cut my camera off? Just put a "we'll be back soon" picture of me, and then we'll just do your camera.
No, well, let's see. Can you see if you can, like...
Reboot it? Yeah, sort of.
We're going to reboot me?
Yeah, if you keep talking, Vince, while I
So,
completely wreck the show.
Wreck the show. Wreck the show.
If worse, we can just turn my camera around and we can talk over there. But yeah, it doesn't take much. I think you're looking at it maybe like $50 for this, and it's a nice hilt.
Yeah, it's nice.
For that.
And it didn't come like that. You sanded it and sprayed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sanded it, and
It's dead.
No, you're frozen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there's no light on it on my side. That's okay. The other thing we were talking about was like doing blasters. And this is something that y'all used to do with Nerf guns, but you can also do it with like if you want to just go cheap at the Dollar Tree and just like as your first project to try it out,
right,
is buy like cheapy water guns. And then you just basically sand them down, sand the plastic and rough it up a little bit. And then what kind of paint? You don't have to use spray paint. You can use like acrylic paint, right, from Hobby Lobby.
For what?
To paint on the plastic, like when you did Nerf guns with the boys.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
I did do that.
Yeah. So if you wanted to make like your own new race, basically for Star Wars, and maybe make blasters, I don't know, it's not coming on.
But it takes a little time.
Okay. Well, I'm not very patient. Oh wow, lovely. Just great.
like that. Why don't you come over here and sit next to me?
Oh
I
my
get to sit next to Vincent again. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'll come sit. Yeah, so the blaster is also a fun activity that you can do with your kids. I think kids really like anything, in my experience, kids really like anything that's really like crafty like that.
Yeah.
And creative painting, especially if they can paint and be kind of messy and, you know, it's
You're gonna
fun.
see through your shirt.
Oh,
You got some green.
I'll lean this way. Okay. I'll just lean on Vincent the whole time and talk like this. It'll be funny. What if I just turn like this? My model face.
So that's one of the things that you can do.
Okay.
And like I said, I will be putting this up, so I will have a tutorial about how to do this. Very easy. And you can do it with other hilts, with other Ultra Sabers. I'm also building a more complex one, but that's coming later because I'm waiting on a board for it, a soundboard for it.
Yeah. And that's way beyond my realm, so I don't know how you do any of that stuff. But if your kid likes that, there are lots of kids out there that like that kind of stuff. I know several of my GT kids would really like to do something like that with their parents. So I think that was kind of what we were thinking on the Star Wars realm. Those were some of the things that we've done before with our kids.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of crafts if you want to just look them up. Literally, if you just Google Star Wars crafts, there's all different kinds of things that you can do with your kids and make and stuff like that. So I think the next genre that we were going to talk about was Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things.
So Stranger Things should be, as far as I know, is coming out again in July, I believe. So I think aside from like binge watching it to kind of catch up on it and remind yourself what it was like, one of the things that I love about Stranger Things is that we started with role-playing games. And
D&D.
so, yep, with D&D. And I actually have the Demogorgon. Will from Tabletop Generals, hey Will, gave me a little miniature, and I have it up in the living room with our 11 and like our little Stranger Things kind of area in the living room. But because of that show, I am finding that more kids are interested in Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
I actually, Vince came a couple of times to my gaming club. I had gaming club at school, and at one point we had 10 kids all playing D&D together with one poor little GM. So that's a little tough to do. But if you've never played a role-playing game and you're interested, or your kids are interested, there are a lot of places like Tabletop Generals, like Dragon's Lair, that are doing summer events where you can learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and you and your kid can learn on a level. And you would be surprised. My kids were 6th, 7th, and 8th grader kids, so 11, 12, and 13, and they pick it up. I was 12 when I picked up my first role-playing game. So I think that that's a fun thing. And then if you wanted to go back and watch E.T., I think that that's a good connection to make, because often kids have a hard time seeing how things connect to one another. So to go back and see them playing in E.T. before they go out and actually find him and see, you know, hey, this is this game and this is an older movie, and maybe watch the older movie and see that. And so then, you know, you can do some...
Or the original Ghostbusters for the second season.
Yeah. So you can do some like kind of movie critiquing with one another, and that's a good thing for kids to do too, is to watch something and critique it in a way to where...
So teachery.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to give you teacher things because y'all aren't teachers.
But it's good for kids to keep their minds going.
They really do need to keep their minds going over the summer. We set this unrealistic expectation for them that summer break happens in life, and it doesn't once you're not a kid anymore. So I would like to see them do that. And then you were saying something, because again, you like the electronic stuff, about the Christmas lights, because that's a thing in Stranger Things if you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
So they put the Christmas lights up, and then she puts the alphabet, and then the kid is on the other side, and that's how he communicates, is he turns on the Christmas lights where the alphabet is.
A really cool thing to use for that, because it'll give you a lot of instructions, and it's called Instructables. It'll tell you like the kind of level that you need to be at to kind of do it, because there's a lot that are like beginners, and there's a lot of projects there with stuff you have around the house.
Yeah, and that would be fun, like take an old thing of Christmas lights and find a way to kind of wire it up on a board maybe, where you could do like little videos to each other where you're sending even Morse code if you don't want to do like the whole alphabet, you know, but maybe do like a little Morse code with the Christmas lights or something like that you could do. You could always shave your head like 11. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's not something you should do.
So we thought those were some fun things. There was something else that I thought of, and now it just went kind of out of my head. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Am I touching your mic?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we have that. We talked about Star Wars. We talked about Stranger Things. What are some others that?
Well, one of the ones that I
Harry
was
Potter.
thinking we could
You
do.
play Quidditch.
You could do Quidditch. So an easy way to do Quidditch at home, and it's kind of cheesy, but again, you can go to the Dollar Tree, and you can buy dollar brooms, and you can buy hula hoops and a little ball, and then you have to ride the broom like you tromp around it like when you were a little kid, like it's a little stick horse basically, and you tromp around and you chase each other around the yard, and you have to try to throw the ball into the hula hoop. So it's like family Quidditch. So you're all outside kind of playing, and it's Quidditch, and it's kind of fun. And you can make up teams within the family and do that kind of stuff. So I thought that was fun. Or the kids could play it with each other, you know, have a group of the neighborhood kids out there playing it. And then there's food recipes. So if you have a kid that's a foodie, like you can make butter beer, and it's not beer, but it's like a root beer type of thing that you can make. there are little kits that you can buy where you can make like chocolate frogs and stuff like that. So maybe if your kid, there's a lot of kids that are like, baking shows and on that kinds of stuff. So you could do that kind of thing. There's also the really gross jelly beans that you could do. It's super gross, but little boys especially really love this, and it disgusts me, but our little boys love it. Y'all loved it as grown-up little boys. Y'all were all doing it at Christmas. Don't let him shake his head, because him and all the YouTube people and the producer were all doing it. And there's this gross thing of beans that like taste like toothpaste and baby wipes and skunk.
I did not do it.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought you got
That was me.
bamboozled. Yeah, you did. Oh, Zach did.
Yeah,
Our
me
son
and Zach were just
You
making a
and
meal of it.
Zach and Jay Bird and yeah.
No.
Yep.
Not good.
Yeah, no. Eric did one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's disgusting but fun if you don't mind eating disgusting things or doing like a Fear Factor-esque type thing. You can eat them.
And also, like in San Antonio, they have like once a month or every other week the things at the Wonderland Mall of Americas. They have the different little conventions there. You can go there and see things, take pictures of stuff, take pictures of people in costume and stuff like that. I've always really enjoyed watching people's costumes.
Well, I think
and
that's the thing
seeing
you
what
can
they
do
put
is
into
make
it.
costumes
Or make
too.
costumes, yeah.
Yeah. We were actually just talking about this the other day, and I didn't think about it until just now, but it's something you could do with your kids too, is almost make like a little Ren fair at your house. Because we went to a little Ren fair here in San Antonio. It was kind of sad. So I was thinking, man, at home we could even make something better than this. Again, you could use the brooms and use the pool noodles and do like a jousting at your house. You could make costumes. You could make fairy wings just out of like hangers and cloth and stuff like that. You can do like headbands like this, and make different headband type things. You can buy the little like beer mugs, but they're like plastic, and just get root beer, and you can have mead with the family, and everybody can have mead and toast, and you can buy turkey legs at HEB and put them on your barbecue grill or in your oven. And there's what's that movie that I love so much with the dead guy, Heath Ledger? A Knight's Tale.
A Knight's Tale.
You could watch A Knight's Tale and do that, and
or we'll a lot of times we'll just go through and like watch the whole series of movies. Like we'll watch all of the Matrix.
yeah, sometimes just having like a movie marathon with your kids is really fun. I mean, if you have time, you could do Avengers now that we're at that point.
Yeah.
You could really go through and watch them in the order, not necessarily that they would put out, but on the internet you can find them in the order that they should be viewed to make a seamless story. You can do that. You can also watch all the Harry Potter movies. It takes you a while. You can watch all the Star Wars movies because we have these, big epic things going on in all of these movies, so you can just keep watching them. Just, have snacks. We used to drag the mattresses into the living room, like kind of push the furniture back, drag the mattresses in, get popcorn, get pizza, get chips and stuff. And, you have to be willing to kind of be messy or whatever. And I find that kids still really love to make forts too, just with chairs and a blanket, and they just want to lay down in there in the fort and, watch the movie or whatever and stuff like that. So there's also a way, and you can look this up online because I'm not familiar with it, I haven't done it, but you can turn your cell phone into like a projector. And so you can
put in like a shoebox.
Yeah.
And then you have to have a lens for it.
You have to get the lens for it. But that might be something that would be fun that, you could make and maybe just like project.
Well, there was a, I forget which pizza place it was that they had the kit.
Oh, I think it was
in
Pizza
there.
Hut,
Was it
right?
Pizza Hut?
Because they had the little
Yeah.
plastic thing in there that, Yes, I think it was Pizza Hut. I don't think they do that anymore, but they used to.
They used to. That was
They
kind of
used
cool.
to do that. That was kind of cool so that you could have pizza in a movie.
If you have a projector, watch a movie outside.
Yeah, you just buy a white sheet and then just hang it up outside and then just kind of hang out in your yard and put out some chairs and just hang out.
Tiki torches.
And put your tiki torches and get your off and spray yourself down so that you're not...
And then you can cosplay Moana.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing
And watch Moana.
to do, again, kind of comes back to the cooking, because I know a lot of kids that like cooking nowadays, is to do like a dinner party kind of with the family, like a family dinner party that
you get
goes
poi.
right.
Nasty.
Well, I don't know. People like that. Or spam. Like spam fried rice. I made that
Yeah.
for you the other day, and that's kind of a tuna, different. Like, look up different dishes that they would have either in that region or something that just necessarily goes with it. Like, even if you just wanted to do, like, for the Marvel, if you wanted to do, like, Hulk potatoes or something, you could just dye them green, just something fun, especially if you have little bitty kids.
Yeah.
They kind of just want something fun like that. They used to, remember when they used to have colored ketchup?
Yeah, they had green ketchup.
Green and purple.
Green and purple, yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever try it?
Yeah, it tastes like ketchup.
Tasted the same? I always wondered. It looked like paint, so I always thought, does it taste like paint?
No, just ketchup.
And that's another thing that kids see nowadays, like on YouTube and stuff, is these food challenges. So if your kid is adventurous and they're willing to, obviously nothing like super gross, but maybe like you have a chip challenge or something, and you just buy these different kinds of chips and you have a challenge with your kid and you all try them as a family. And like we went into the Oriental Market and bought some of the little snacks from there. We didn't love some of the seaweed snacks and stuff, but we tried them and it was funny.
Really did like some of the
Stuart really
seaweed
liked them.
snacks.
We gave them to Stuart. It was fine.
Awesome. We're gonna have to do that again.
Yeah. So I think fun things like that I'm not saying like take YouTube away from your kids and not
Slime.
let
You
them.
can make slime.
You can make slime. I'm just saying integrate YouTube into family fun.
Yeah.
Like go find the things that the kids are doing or think is funny and integrate
you can all
it.
do together.
Yeah. I've been thinking of doing like the ASMR stuff is like really big now, so I was like, oh, let's whisper read some comics and like listen to the page rustling or something. I don't know. I don't understand ASMR. But I'm just like, every time I see these things, I'm just thinking of things that I can do. I think it's my teacher brain, so I'm thinking of things that I can do with my with my students, so that it's something.
Start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, start a YouTube channel. A lot of them like to be like meme lords. They want to be like, so maybe, y'all watch something together or you're into something together and then they go create memes. And so then they're learning some technology too.
Yeah.
They can use something as easy as Google Slides just to make that meme, and they can, if they don't know how to use Photoshop or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if you're really into tech, because you really are, and you wanted to sit down and teach your kid, I mean, more power that your kid knows how to use Photoshop. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you're not tech savvy, like for me, I'm not tech savvy. Oops, sorry, was that me? Oh, I'm not tech savvy, so I wouldn't know how to show them. But I've shown my students at school how they can make memes. And they can like summarize a book for you using a meme or like a section of the book. I did that for my students as well, is I give them what's called a choice board. So they can do an art piece. They can like write a prequel to the story. They can write a sequel to the story. They can write a news report of something that happened in the story. They can do a diorama. Remember doing dioramas as kids? I used to love making dioramas. And it doesn't have to be about a book. Oh, you didn't like to do dioramas? Oh my God. My middle school kids love to make dioramas. They love to go like to the Dollar Tree and get like dinosaurs, and they would make like meteors coming down and what?
That's a lost art, dioramas. I used to do a toy store window display. It was
really?
So awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
It's just a really weird name. It's diorama.
Diorama because it sounds like diarrhea?
No, just because it sounds like diorama.
Oh.
Why you gotta take it to the poop?
I don't know. That's what you usually do. I just thought that's where we were going.
The poop.
Everything's about poop. Kids like poop, too. They like poop emojis. They could, like... See, Stuart's shaking his head because his child loves a poop emoji.
Oh, it's
the best thing since sliced bread. He goes to Walmart and he's in heaven. Poop emojis everywhere. It's like, just...
But it's really easy. You can get the poop emoji stickers and put them on some popsicle sticks, and they can like videotape with their little phones, and they can make like little movies and stuff and plays, but they're learning video editing and stuff like that. You would be surprised how you can let them be silly and let them be kids and let them like stupid stuff, and you're sneaking learning in, right? The future of like jobs and stuff, it's not going to be the same as what we all have now. So anytime that they're becoming tech savvy, it's probably going to be like, you know, taking care of our overlord masters that are going to be robots. Yeah. So you need to learn how to repair robots and like make them happy. So.
Well, they could probably repair themselves.
They don't want to. They're lazy robots. Okay.
Yeah.
They're robots.
They want human slaves.
No, they're sick and tired of delivering your Amazon packages on time.
Oh, that's another thing that recently the FAA approved Amazon to start flying drones.
To deliver your packages with drones, or what?
Yeah.
That's another thing that we didn't talk about. If your kid is into photography or videography, is getting a drone. That's one of the really big things, is doing like a lot of drone footage. So take them like to a park or somewhere and do some drone footage and let them do that kind of stuff and let them do some of that video editing and see, because a lot of kids think that the future is to be a famous YouTuber. They think that that's where the money is. So if that's what they think, they don't know because they're kids, but if that's what they think they're passionate about, right?
Yeah. You could get lucky.
Yeah, and let them. Like, let them try, let them practice, let them try video editing, there's free software.
It might be something that they enjoy and they want to keep doing just because they like doing it, like we do.
Yeah, yeah. So, I just think that there are so many things. So you were going to give me a shameless plug, or am I going to give myself a shameless plug?
So I'm going to give her a shameless plug. So we're talking about a lot of things, about how you can teach stuff through some of the activities you can do during the summer. And you can get some more of that information on Colleen's channel, Gifted Guzman, and she's got some great videos up there that'll show you how to do that.
Yeah, the playlist is called Parent Tips. I also have like book talks and stuff like that for the kids, and some tips for kids and stuff. But I'm so sorry.
Now
you
she's
made me tired. Hey, I had to move to a new classroom.
Contagious.
It was like, but yeah, Gifted Guzman, and I have Parent Tips. I talk about how to do a reading program with your kid with some incentives over the program, over the course of the time, and so. And
she'll be going into more in depth about some of the things you do and specific things that you can do and how to do it on her channel this summer. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it.
One more thing I want to push, just one more thing, because I love it, and it's a thing that I love. So not that I love it, but I love Dollar Tree. I wish they would like sponsor me because I love them. But they're doing Dollar Tree Plus now, which it's more than $1 stuff. And so I totes found this Star Wars Play-Doh thing there the other day, and I'm actually playing with it because I'm that kind of nerd, and I love Play-Doh. But it's really cute, and Play-Doh, especially with little kids, Play-Doh, even with just cookie cutters, is just a really great like tactile thing for kids to do, and they can cut it up, and they can use plastic knives and stuff and cut it up. We used to do that with the kids all the time. You can just buy a little placemat at Dollar Tree and buy the cheapy Play-Doh, and they'll play with the Play-Doh for hours. You can just buy cheapy cookie cutters. But it was only $5 for the Star Wars thing. I don't know if they still have them, but it's really fun. You can press it and make like Play-Doh Death Stars and stuff like that. So just, you know, keep your eyes open, and we'll keep doing videos to let you know of stuff you can do with your kids.
Yeah, and there's stuff to do this weekend on Geeking, so let's go ahead and cue Alicia.
Hi guys, thanks for having me back. There's not a lot of geeky events going on in San Antonio this weekend. The biggest one is Villain Con going on at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall. Always free, always family friendly. They're celebrating the dark side of movies and TV and video games by having this villain-themed event, which is right up my alley. Anyways, they're going to have vendors and cosplay, of course, and an art walk with original art. And so there'll probably be plenty of Instagram photo opportunities, which I love. Oh, they're also having a Villains of Horror painting party, so you can try your own hand at making some original art. Also going on at the zoo is a Pokemon Go meetup, so you can meet up with other Pokemon Go players. And the good news is they now have free zoo-wide public Wi-Fi throughout the park. So what could be better than that? So that's going on Saturday between 3 and 5 p.m. Also, the Secret Life of Pets 2 is opening this weekend, and at the Alamo Draft House, I think the Stone Oak location, is having a family party celebrating the film. And so if you get there early, you can do some crafts and some games and some activities and celebrate the opening of the movie with some other families. So that sounds like a great activity for the little ones. And air conditioning and staying out of the sun is always a good thing. Anyways, that's all I have for you. If you want to see what else is going on, check out my Facebook page. You can scroll through the feed or click on that events tab and see what's going on during the week. Anyways, have a fabulous geekend. Bye.
Well, that seems like a little more than not
a lot, yeah.
lot happening. But yeah, no, she's done a great job, and we're gonna start doing more with her on Geek Out SA. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I can't wait.
Now that we have some
so
time.
check out her Geek Fun SA on Facebook.
We actually had some fun with her.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, last night. We went to
yeah.
the art show. So after our show, if you want, you can go to the Brick at the Blue Star, and they're having some art shows out there, Ghostbusters and Carly Yates Creatures. Oh man.
Yeah, very. She's very inspired by Guillermo del Toro stuff, and some of those monsters that she has up there are
Just
amazing.
super fabulous. The detail is amazing. So definitely go check that out. That's something to do here in San Antonio that you can run out and do tonight if you're not too tired like us.
So there's a ton of things that you can do this summer, and we'll be here to help you out and do that.
Yep.
So thanks for checking us out. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification button, and you'll know when we go live. But I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Stuart.
Geek Out SA.